Good morning all. Welcome to ISC Geography Class 11. Today we will continue Chapter 5 Landforms of the Earth. Today is day 3. In today's class we will study from page number 92 to page number 95. First of all, let us go through the objectives we have done in the last class. In the last class, that is on day 2, we have studied landforms associated with endogenous process, that is mountains, classification of mountains, fold mountains and plate tectonic theory, block mountains, volcanic mountains, residual or dissected mountains, mountains and men. The objectives of today's class are plateaus, classification of plateaus, and significance of plateaus to men, that is plateaus and men. First of all, let us go through the technical terms that are related to today's topic. The first term is plateau. Plateau is a flat, elevated landform that rises sharply above the surrounding area. Example, Deccan Plateau. Intermountain Plateau. A plateau which is enclosed or surrounded by mountain ranges is known as Intermountain Plateau. The example is Tibetan Plateau. Piedmont Plateau or the Plateau of Denudation. A plateau lying between the mountains and the plains or the ocean is termed as Piedmont Plateau or Plateau of Denudation. The example is Patagonia Plateau of South America. Continental Plateau. Continental plateaus are bordered on all sides by plains or oceans forming away from the mountains. An example of a continental plateau is the Antarctic Plateau in the East Antarctica. Lava Plateau or Plateau of Accumulation. Lava or volcanic plateau or plateau of accumulation are the plateaux that occur in areas of widespread volcanic eruptions. The magma that comes out through narrow cracks or fissures. Fissures are the horizontal cracks in the crust spread over large area and solidifies or cool down. Example, Deccan Plateau. Now, let us start the topic for today. First of all, we'll study about plateaus. A plateau, as I told you, is an elevated area as compared to surrounding areas. In contrast to mountains, it has a large area on its top and has flat or undulating, means uneven surface. Its sides are marked by a steep cliff. Cliff is actually a rock facing the sea which has very steep slope like a wall. So its sides are marked by a steep cliff except in a plateau which is surrounded by mountains. It is therefore often termed as tableland. You can see in this diagram. According to P.G. Worcester, the plateaus are highlands underlain by uplift horizontal strata. Strata means layers. The uplift takes place along the sides of the plateau. According to A.N. Strahler and A.H. Strahler, a plateau is an upland surface more or less flat and horizontal, upheld by resistant beds of sedimentary rocks on lava flows and bounded by a steep cliff. I told you that cliff is a rock facing the sea with steep slope. The rocks of the plateau are layered with sandstones, shales and limestone. It is this arrangement of the strata which gives it a large even surface. But an inclined or a tilted strata may also become flat to continuous wearing down. The Great Deccan Plateau, with a slope towards the east, is a tilted plateau in our country. Very often, rivers and streams cut out the valleys and canyons in a plateau region. It changes smooth topography into a dissected plateau. Dissected means cut by rivers. The Deccan Plateau is one of the best example of a dissected plateau. Here we can see that the Deccan Plateau is cut by a number of rivers like Narmada, Tapi, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and there are many tributaries. Normally, plateaus have elevation which is less than the mountains and more than the plains. Their average height above sea level varies from 300 to 1000 meters, but plateaus cannot be differentiated from the mountains and plains on the basis of their elevation alone. The elevation of Bolivia and Tibet plateaus is 3660 and 6100 meters above the sea level respectively. The Tibetan Plateau is the highest and most extensive plateau in the world. Here, river Brahmaputra flows at the height of 3000 meters and is navigable. It is the highest waterway in the world. The elevations are much higher than many mountains of the world. On the other hand, some plateaus are lower than plains. For example, the Appalachian Piedmont Plateau is 900 meters above sea level, whereas the Great Plains of North America to the west of the Mississippi River is at a height of 1500 meters above sea level. Now children, let us study the classification of plateaus. Although plateaus can be classified on the basis of their situation, shape, structure, origin and climate, the best basis of classification of plateau is on the basis of situation or location. Following three types of plateaus are usually recognized. First, intermontane plateaus, second, Piedmont plateaus, and third, continental plateaus. Intermontane plateaus, the plateaus which are partly or fully enclosed by mountains are known as intermontane plateaus. The highest and extensive plateaus of the world such as Tibet, Bolivia and Mexico are examples of intermontane plateaus. We can see in this picture that Tibetan Plateau is enclosed by the mountains of Central Asia. Bolivia Plateau is enclosed by the mountain ranges of Andes, and Mexico Plateau, it is enclosed by the chain of mountain which are extension of Rockies in North America. Piedmont plateaus, situated at the foot of a mountain, they are bounded on the opposite side by a plain or an ocean. It means that on one side it has mountains and on the other side it has either a plain or an ocean. The plateaus of Patagonia in Argentina and the Appalachians in United States are important example of Piedmont plateaus. The Malwa Plateau of India also belongs to this class. In this map, you can see that Malwa Plateau is surrounded by and Aravallis in the northwest, Vindhyas in the south. These are also called the Plateau of Denudation because these were formerly high and now reduced in elevation by various agents of erosion like wind, glaciers and rivers. Continental plateaus. These plateaus are surrounded by sea or plains on all sides. They are the result of continental uplift and are quite vast. The plateaus of Brazil, South Africa, West Australia, South India, Greenland, Antarctica and Arabian Peninsula are important examples of continental plateaus. Their heights vary from 600 to 1500 meters. Sometimes a plain or a low-lying area is vertically uplifted and give rise to a plateau. In India, plateaus of Kaimur, Rohtas, Ranchi, Karnataka are of this type. The Potwar Plateau of Pakistan also falls in this category. A lava plateau is formed when lava erupting from the interior of the earth covers an extensive land surface. This is also known as plateau of accumulation. Maharashtra has this type of plateaus. The horizontal sheets of lava flow have trapped the original topography in Maharashtra that varies in depth from 500 to 1500 meters over large parts of Maharashtra and the adjoining areas of Deccan. The Snake River Plateau in northwest United States and Trim Plateau of Northern Ireland are also good examples of such volcanic plateaus. Now let us discuss the importance of plateau to man. So the topic is plateaus and man. Plateaus cover about 33% of the earth's surface but support only 9% of the world's population. It is clear that the population density in the plateaus is higher than in the mountains and lower than in the plains. Plateaus influence the human life to a great extent, which is clear from the following points. Climate. Plateaus are climatically convenient areas in the tropical zone because of their cool climate. For long, higher parts of plateaus in tropical regions have provided coolness for their appearance to settle and practice plantation agriculture. The benefits are still being enjoyed by plateau dwellers in areas of India, East Africa and Brazil. Agriculture. Many plateaus of the world are surrounded by mountains or are located on the leeward side, hence they are climatically arid and semi-arid lands, means they are dry areas. Their hard rocks do not permit the use of canals and wells as for irrigation. But some plateaus have fertile soils and their climate is suited for agriculture. The Deccan Plateau of India and Columbia Plateau of South America are such plateaus. The volcanic soil of Deccan Plateau, that is black soil, is quite fertile and is especially useful for cultivation of cotton. Minerals. Plateaus are regarded as storehouse of minerals. They are normally made up of old hard rocks which are quite rich in minerals resources. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is composed of granite and gneiss and has large deposits of iron ore, bauxite, limestone, dolomite and many more minerals. This is the richest area of India from minerals point of view and is known as the mineral heartland of India. Many metallurgical industries are well developed in the Chota Nagpur Plateau region of India due to the presence of minerals. The most important industry in this region is the iron and steel industry. For example, the Tata Steel Plant, which is the largest steel plant of India, is located in this region. The other industries like Bhilai Steel Plant, Rourkela Steel Plant, Durgapur Steel Plant, the Indian Steel Company are also located in this area due to the presence of the minerals like iron ore, coal, dolomite, limestone, gypsum, chromium, which are needed in these industries. The West Australia Plateau provides large quantities of gold, silver and manganese. You might have heard about the gold rush of the people from different continents in Australia's western part. Brazilian Plateau is known for its iron ore and manganese, whereas Bolivia Plateau is famous for its tin deposits. Tungsten, antimony, gold, copper, silver, etc. are found in the Yunnan Plateau of South China. Transport. Many of the plateaus are composed of hard rocks and have undulating, that is uneven surface. The deep river valleys and swift flow of water in the rivers do not encourage water transportation. Plateaus of Brazil, Bolivia and Shan in Myanmar could not make much economic progress due to lack of transport in spite of their vast mineral deposits. It means that the means of transport are very important for the economic progress of an area. But whenever there is level land, roads have been built because necessary building material in the shape of stone is readily available in the plateaus. Grazing. Many plateaus have arid or semi-arid, that is dry climate, where only grass grows. This has led to large-scale grazing in these areas. Patagonia in South America, Turkey and South Africa Plateau are important grazing areas where sheep and goats are reared on a large scale. As you know, the sheep and goats, they need very less water to survive. Hydroelectricity. The rivers in the plateau regions have rapids along the steep edges. Rapids are small waterfalls. It has made possible the generation of hydropower in such areas. Many dams are built in the Deccan Plateau in India. The important dams or hydroelectric power stations are the Tungabhadra Dam, the Shravati Project, Mahatma Gandhi Project, Nagarjun Sagar Dam, the Idukki Dam and Koyna Project in Maharashtra. Population. Plateaus are less densely populated than the plains. This is due to arid or dry land and infertile soil, lack of transportation, and backward state of agriculture. But plateaus are more populated as compared to hills and mountains. Many plateaus are still inhabited by tribal people. The Gonds are among the largest tribal groups in South Asia and perhaps in the world. The term Gond refers to tribal peoples who live all over India's Deccan Peninsula. Gonds live all over central India and the states of Maharashtra and Odisha. As hill people, they traditionally have been associated with hills and uplands in the Deccan Peninsula. Children, with this, we come to the end of today's class. Hope that you have understood today's topic nicely. Now, let us go through the objectives we have done till today. On day 1, the objectives we have studied are endogenetic forces, classification of endogenetic forces, folding and types of folds, faulting and types of faults. On day 2, that is in the last class, we have studied landform associated with endogenous process, that is mountains, classification of mountains, fold mountains and plate tectonic theory, block mountains, volcanic mountains, residual or dissected mountains, and mountains and man. In today's class, we have studied about plateaus, classification of plateaus, and the importance of plateaus to man under the topic of plateaus and man. Now it is a time to give you your homework. Children, you have to read the topic from page number 92 to page number 95. You have to mark the answers of all the questions related to today's topic from exercise 2nd and exercise 3rd. You also have to write the answers of a few questions in your fair copy. I will read the questions for you. The first question is, define a plateau. Give examples. Second question, how are plateaus formed? Question number 3, classify plateaus according to their situation. Explain each with examples. And the last question is, explain the importance of plateau to man. Children, you must see the school YouTube video whose link is provided to you. We will very soon meet in a new video with a new topic. Till then, keep exploring, be happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you.